Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Tonight we are talking about some simple habits that you can start to implement into your life in this year 2022 to improve your life and to make it better. So, if that is something that you are interested in hearing about, thank you for stopping by. If you are new, glad to have you as part of the family. And if you're returning, hey, good to see you again. So, I know we are 29 days into the new year, and there might have been some things that you didn't accomplish in 2021. No need to worry. 2022 is still early, and it is never too late to make changes. So, here are some simple tips that you can implement into your life. Tip number one is to prioritize your self care. And guys, I did make my list, so I will be looking at my paper occasionally because I do want to make sure I give you guys all of the information. So, tip number one is to prioritize your health, your self care. And if you hear that little beeping sound, guys, that is my smoke detector that keeps making that little beeping sound. Prioritizing your self care. I cannot stress this enough how important this is into improving your overall well-being. Be realistic, take small breaks. One of the things that I have been incorporating into my new routine for this year is to take small breaks throughout, either throughout the day or throughout the week or throughout the month, just giving myself some time to reset and to rejuvenate and to press that reset button. One of the other tips under self-care is to get enough rest. I know adulting is hard and many of us may not even get 8 hours of sleep per night. However, try to get at least minimum 7 hours, at least 3 days out of the week. It will do you a lot of good. You will wake feeling rejuvenated. You will wake feeling energized. So do try to be intentional in trying to get at least 7 hours, at least 3 days out the week. One of the other tips under prioritizing your self-care is to get off social media at a healthy time. I know we live in a world that is social media driven. Everything is social media. It's TikTok, it is Instagram, it is YouTube, it's Facebook, and that keeps us up, whether that is throughout the day with not getting enough things done, or whether that is at nighttime when you are trying to go to bed. Be intentional, set a timer, and try to stick to that timer by not going past that timer for the night or for the day, because the more time you spend on social media, the less productive you will be. Tip number two is going to be clutter-free lifestyle, or just aiming to be clutter-free into the new year. Yes, guys, I say clutter-free. Now listen, I have another video. This is one of my first videos when I started my channel seriously, and it is about ways to become organized. I will try to link it down below, link to the video. But in that video, I talked about putting things back to their designated home. Everything in your house have a designated home. Everything in your office has a designated home. Put it back. If you take the dishes out, put them back to where they belong. If you take your clothes out, put them back to where they belong. Living a clutter-free life will minimize your stress. It will also promote sense of feeling happy. Guys, I know one of the things that stresses me out is when I walk through the door from work and I see a messy house. I see things all over the place. I feel stressed immediately, and it just makes me irritable and just discombobulated. So one of the things that I aim for is putting things back immediately after I use them. When I get home, I try to put my shoes back into the closet instead of leaving it downstairs by the doorway. Oftentimes you, by day 2, you have 4 pairs of shoes downstairs. So just try to put things back to where they belong. When you have a lot of clutter, you are stressed, you feel unhappy. It makes your workload more. You come home and instead of having 1 pair of shoe to put back, you may end up having 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pair of shoe, a lot of clothes, and all that kind of stuff. When you do your laundry, fold them immediately and put them away. Some of the things that I struggle with now is with a family of 4, it's a lot of clothes to wash. So you're talking about 4 people's worth of clothes. If you procrastinate and if you clutter that up, that's a whole lot of clothes at the end of the week. So just try to wash and fold and put them away immediately. Trust me, guys, you are going to see a big difference when you start to put things back to their designated area. It's hard to keep track of what you own, causing you to spend more time. A lot of times when you have a lot of stuff and it's clutter, you may not know what you own. And so you may go out and may buy more of the things. Go through your pantry before you go grocery shopping. Look through your closet before you go shopping. You may have those items already, and because it's so cluttered and it's not in its designated area, you go out and you buy. A lot of times I may go to the store and I may pick up a can of vegetables, and when I come home I have 4 cans of vegetables there. So just always make sure that you are putting things back so that you can see it and just de-stressing, minimizing your stress load. And number 3 is to reinforce positive self-talk. I cannot stress this enough, guys. Self-talk, positive affirmation, feeding that into your well-being is key in 2022. For the past 2 years, we have been living in a pandemic. It's chaotic. It's a whole lot going on. We don't know what's going on. A lot of people have endured some hard times. It's been stressful, and just have you questioning your own self-esteem, your own self-confidence, your needs, your strengths. But one of the big things is that you want to limit your exposure to negativity. When you expose yourself to a lot of negativity, you start to personalize every single thing that is going on around. And when you personalize things that's going on around, you start to blame yourself. You start to put all the blame on yourself. You don't see any of the good things that you have done. And then secondly, you start to magnify situations when you start to listen to all of that negativity. And when we magnify situations, we make them more than what they are. They start to appear bigger than what they really are. Sometimes that situation can be a very minute situation, but because of how negative it is, we start to magnify it and it just seems 10 times bigger, and then we start to focus on the negative aspect of that situation instead of seeing some of the good from it. We also tend to catastrophize some of the situation, and when we do that, we only expect the worst out of something or someone. And then there is the polarizing side of negativity, where we are seeing things in either black and white. There's no in between, there's no gray areas. And that takes us away from building on our strengths, building on, feeding and putting energy into ourselves. So definitely start practicing some self-love. Tune out that negativity, minimize your exposure to that negativity, negative people, negative places, negative things, just negative triggers that are going to defeat you, make you feel defeated, and play on your self-esteem, play on your self-confidence. And the other thing is, find some humor. While you are reinforcing some positive self-talk, find some humor. Laugh a little bit, let your shoulders back a little bit, and just enjoy some of the good things that you are doing. Don't dwell on all of the negativity. Don't dwell on all of the failures, because failures is just a moment. It's just temporarily. You go back to the drawing board and you start feeding that yourself with that positive energy. Number 4, guys, is to reset your expectations. Yes, resetting your expectations, make them clear to your own selves. What are your own expectations? Not just what people expect of you, but what are your expectations? Be honest with yourself about if you need to change or modify those expectations, because sometimes we put on paper what it is that we want for ourselves, and we stick to it and we don't go back to revisiting it, and as a result we may not be achieving that and we don't even recognize it. Resetting also allows you to assess, it also allows you to review your performance, and just allows you to see the areas that you need to revisit, some of the areas that you may even need to retweak, because realistically, we're not always going to meet our goals. And while we are going um, through those goals, you may need to revisit it, tweak a little area here and there, improve on some areas, and all that kind of good stuff. Self-care, guys. It's Saturday night, and it is my self-care night. It's my downtime. Where were we at? We're on number 5, modifying your goals. So after you have reset your expectations, you want to go back in and you want to modify your goals. Modifying your goals allow you to assess your progress. Where are you? Are you here? Are you here? Are you still at the starting line? Have you not made any progress? Are you making some progress? What do you need to do to speed up your progress? Where do you need to go to make those goals? So definitely modifying those goals allow you to assess, I keep saying access, to assess your goals. Make smart goals. Guys, in substance abuse and in mental health, we talk about SMART goals, SMART. And SMART goals stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. As it relates to specific, you want your goals to be specific to a target. Specific. If you are in if you're in marketing, you want your goal to be specific to your target market, what it is that you are targeting. Make sure that goal is clear and vivid as a daylight, what it is that you are targeting, what is it you're aiming for. If you are aiming to lose weight, your goal is going to be geared towards losing weight. You're going to have specific goals. As it relates to measurable, you want to make sure that you can measure the goal. You can say, okay, I started here, this is where I'm at, this is where I need to be. Okay, all right, this is the time it's going to take me to get to point B from point A. Make sure that goal is measurable. You have attainable. How attainable is this goal? Make sure you are making those goals that are attainable. Do not put goals that are unattainable. And when I say attainable, I mean, okay, I want to sell 100 in the next 2 days. Is that an attainable goal? Or I want to lose 50 pounds in 10 days. Is that an unrealistic, unattainable goal? Make sure those goals are attainable. So instead of saying, I want to lose 50 pounds in 10 days, it could be, okay, over the next 30 days, my goal is to lose 50 pounds. However, in the next week, I will aim to lose 2 pounds. And when you get to the end of that week, you check that out. Did you lose the 2 pounds? Instead of making one big goal for the month that is unattainable, you want to chop that big goal up into smaller goals. That way you can get to that goal and you can achieve that goal, and you can be motivated to continuing to meet the big goal of 50. One of the other thing that I have been using, guys, is the Eisenhower method box. It is amazing. If you have not heard of it, definitely go and check it out. This is going to be upside down because I am using a front forward, but just in case, I'm going to link this in the down in my description box. So the Eisenhower method box categorize completing a task and becoming more, improving productivity, decision making, and managing and having better time management. It categorizes our task into 4 categories. You have the important, you have the not so important, you have the delegate, and you have the delete. What that does is you come up with a daily plan, a monthly plan, however you want to put yours. I do daily. And what you do is, what are your important tasks? Those tasks are your time specific tasks. They're clear deadlines. Consequences will be met if these aren't met. So those are going to be in your important. So in your to-do section, you're going to have your important and you're going to list it. Okay, I need to submit my timesheet by 2 p.m. I need to attend a virtual meeting call at 1 p.m. Your specific things that needs to be done. And then in the second category, which is the not so important schedule section, you want to have those things that are still important, but they do not need to be done immediately today. They can be scheduled out towards the end of the week, the month, however it is. And then you have the third section, which is the delegate. These are things that need to be done but do not require your specific skills. And so that may be responding to some emails, meal prepping. Those are things that can be done later on, or you can even delegate out to other people that are either on your team or people who are in your home, your husband, your spouse, your spouse, your children, stuff like that. Delegating out some tasks to get those things off of your table to free up more time for you. And then you have the last section, which is the delete under the Eisenhower method box, which is distractions that make you feel worse afterward can be okay, but okay in moderation. So you can delete these aren't as important. You can get rid of these you don't need to do these right away, or you can mark them for later on, way down. You don't need to worry about them today. And what I absolutely love about this method, guys, is that it allows you to categorize your task based on most important, not so important, can wait. And if you are being honest with yourself, we procrastinate. Sometimes we do procrastinate, and the most important things gets swept under the rug or shoved away for a little bit. With this method, it allows you to focus on working on what you need to do in the moment, the most important things, and then work your way down the list. What I love about this is that it also forces you to recognize that you don't have to get everything done in one day. Because sometimes you have some people who are workaholics and they think that they have to get it all done, or else they just cannot function. And that puts more stress on you to get things done. So I absolutely love this. I will definitely link this down below, guys. Or if you guys can just type in Eisenhower method box into Google, tons of different sheets will come up. That's where I got mine from. And I utilize that into my journal. Not journal, my planner. I have a 12-month planner that mimics that. Let me grab that. So yes, guys, so I have a planner that is similar to the Eisenhower, and I picked this planner up at Target. I just have a regular Coach case that I purchased on Coach, and then I purchased the planner at Target. Guys, this planner is similar to the Eisenhower because it comes with your week Oh my God, you won't be. Okay, there we go. A little bit. It comes with your to do, don't forget, to call, email, to buy. And then there's a little box here. So it actually comes with something similar to the Eisenhower, and that's why I picked this up at Target. This was either $10 or something like that. But when I saw this, it was perfect because it has that to do. I can categorize based on this. Absolutely, absolutely love the Eisenhower. So definitely check that out, guys. And then number six. Number six is to take intentional time off to reset. Guys, this is something that I personally struggle with because I'm a workaholic. I work, 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 work. And one of the things I intentionally plan on doing this year, believe it or not, is to start taking those time off, guys, to reset. That's what they give you those time for if you work for corporate America, if you work in the public sector. That's what them little earned time per week is for. Use it. Use it, definitely. Be intentional in taking breaks either throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, or throughout the year. This will give you some time to relax, to unwind, and to not have to stress about the work. Definitely be intentional with that. Even if it's to take a week off just to stay at home and just relax and not having to wake up early, get dressed, drive to work, and all that kind of stuff. Be intentional with doing that. Number seven, and we are getting through these, guys. I hope you guys are loving these tips. Number seven is to manage your finance. Whoop. Guys, this is one of my favorite one. Managing your finances. Definitely a lot of our stress, our stress in life is rooted in money. Money, 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 money. We want more money, more money, more money, more money, more money. We work 2, 4, 5 jobs so we can get more money. Nothing is wrong with that, guys. But one of the things is that we want to learn ways to better manage our money and to make better choices with our money. We want to also do not overspend, do not do impulse buying, and we want to create and make small changes that will give us that stability with our finances. One of the things that I had to learn was to figure out how to save and be intentional with my saving, because one of the things is that nobody teaches us is money management skills, right? Nobody teaches us that. That's something that you really is trial and error, and you have to learn on your own. If you come from a family that teaches you money management, kudos. That is something that I definitely, my husband and I, want to implement with our kids as they're growing, is money management skills, because that's something neither of us got in our homes growing up. And so I definitely want to encourage you guys to find the strategies that work for you to save. For me personally, I have a savings account with Capital One, which is called a 360 savings account. You do not have access to it where you can just go to an ATM. And so I have the funds auto drafted from my main account into that savings account. And the interest rate is amazing. But that intentional saving and me not having access to the funds has been my strategy to save in. Those are the changes I had to personally make. Now, if you are someone who can save with a regular savings account where you have access to, be intentional. Have auto draft where it comes out of your regular checking into it on a monthly basis, where you're not even missing that money coming out. You can have it auto drafted from your paycheck into your savings. So find the strategies that work for you, but definitely paying attention to your finances is definitely a big habit that will improve your life in this 2022. And worst of all, guys, we saw where 2020 and 2021, a lot of people got impacted by COVID, and I'm talking about impacted financially, where some people didn't have a savings, some people had a little savings, it got depleted over a couple months. So be intentional with your savings, because you never know when something like this COVID can just pop its dirty head up, and it doesn't seem to be going away. Number 8 is going to be do weekly review. This is something that is new into my life. I have been incorporating that towards the latter part of 2021, and I absolutely love it, which is why I made this list. Definitely set aside a few minutes at the end of each week. For me, it's Friday evenings. I set aside a couple, like an hour, and I assess my week because I keep a weekly planner. This also helps me to achieve this task or this goal, and that is to just definitely go through my planner. I write everything into my planner, and then at the end of the week I will go back through and I'll just look at my to-do section and make sure that I did everything that I needed to do for the week. I also use this to reflect on my own progress throughout the week. Was I tardy to work? How many days was I tardy to work? What did I get accomplished this week? How many clients did I see? How many notes did I put in? How many treatment plans did I do? It gives me that ability to reflect on my own progress, and also allows me to celebrate some of my big successes. Like at the end of the week, I'm able to say, this week was a productive week. I did A, B, and C. Whoa, God, thank you, Jesus. Going into next week, this is what I'm aiming for. And it also allows me to reset and think about, what I can improve going into next week. So definitely set aside a few minutes. It doesn't have to be long. For me, it takes about an hour. I'm trying to be extra. Just to assess and review my week. And then number 9, guys, we're coming close. Number 9 is to explore. Oftentimes we get comfortable in our routines. You wake up, you brush your teeth, get into the shower, you eat the same places, you go to the same places, you do the same things. This year, try to explore. Step out of your comfort zone. Live a little. Try something new. Try some sushi. Try some food that you've never tried before. Go somewhere that you've never tried before. Step out of your comfort zone. And even if it's not stepping out of your comfort zone as it relates to eating, it can be challenging your own self as it relates to your progress. Just stepping out of your comfort zone to doing something different, improving on something, doing something that's going to propel you in your career. Take a class, take a course, go to a workshop, just anything that it is that will help you to be better. But don't be complacent. Do not be stuck in the same thing, the same routine, the same everything. Explore. And on to our final one, guys. Number 10 of my simple tips. Oh my God, guys, my simple habits are really good. But number 10 is to say no. Say no. Guys, we complain about not having enough time to do things, but in truth and reality, we waste a lot of time. Be it social media, be it chatting with our friends, be it being on the phone. We waste a lot of time. We also take on sometimes more than we can handle. We do take on more than we can handle, and we sometimes don't ask for help. So get in the habit of delegating some tasks, getting some things, don't micromanage, put some things off the table onto other plates. If you have children, instead of you having to come home and wash the dishes, delegate those tasks out. Take the garbage out, delegate those tasks out. Folding clothes, delegate the task to someone in the home. That way you can focus on the things that you need to focus on. But learning to say no, guys, is a big thing that I plan on doing in 2022. Say no, learn to delegate those tasks, and don't micromanage. Because sometimes when we delegate those tasks out and we don't see them doing it as fast as we would like to, we jump on and we take back that task onto our plates, doing it and then forgetting about the things that we really need to do for ourselves. So definitely in this year, learn to say no. and that will definitely improve your life. So yes guys, those are my 10 simple habits that you can incorporate into your life to improve your life in this year 2022 and into more years to come. If you like it, please go ahead and like this video, share, and as always, thank you guys for stopping by, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.